views and opinions expressed on the Lang and LeBlanc podcast are solely those of the hosts, producers, and guests of the program. They in no way, shape, or form reflect those of any affiliates the presenters or guests represent.
We'd like to acknowledge that this podcast is recorded, edited, and operated on Treaty 4 territory and on the traditional homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationship with one another.
You gonna clap?
Yeah, I'll clap. 1 sec.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
What's your favorite comeback song?
Comeback song? Like bounce back song?
Because we're coming back. This is the ReLaunch episode of the Lang and LeBlanc podcast. So, your favorite comeback song?
Eye of the Tiger, baby.
Is that a comeback song, though?
I don't know.
I feel like it is. I feel like it's one of those songs that can be used in any kind of
whether it's
way.
Motivation or just you're bouncing back from something.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what we're kind of doing. It's been a while. I'm so sorry to all of our loyal listeners that we're just like, they're putting out 1, they're putting out 2.
And then nothing for a month.
Nothing. Yeah. We're very sorry. We have had things happen in our lives. We've been busy with our lives. We obviously had baby, which is taking up a lot of our time. So, yeah, life is starting to get a little bit back to normal. Like we've said before in the past, though, actually we haven't. It's been busy in Yorkton and area. So, it's really that time where everyone seems to be hitting their stride, right?
Yeah, everyone's like kind of rolling into the summer months and we're starting to get back on the lake, in the camper, in the tent, on the golf course, going to the Mosaic Stadium, right?
Just generally, though, because you look around and there's all, like in Yorkton right now, there's something to do like every weekend in June. It's nuts.
It's stacked up to the point where it's like there's 3 events going on at all times. And it's silly because it's like, okay, we got to go to this. Oh, now we got to go to that. Especially like as media, it's like you got to cover it all.
that's our jobs.
Yeah.
That's technically our job. So this is the official welcome back to the Lang and LeBlanc podcast. But not just that, it is also the start of season 4 because we wanted to change things up. Obviously, if you are watching us right now, we are looking at you. You can't do that with audio.
You can see us.
We've been working towards getting kind of a set up, and it's not perfect right now. Mm-hmm. But like the show, in development, right? We are legitimately in my garage.
Yeah, this is where we've recorded a lot of the podcasts.
We have technically recorded 1 podcast in here, but at the same time, we haven't done one with them watching.
Yes.
You know?
We did one in Saskatoon. That was the only one.
Yeah, exactly. But this is going to be kind of the normal now. The Lang and LeBlanc podcast is going on video. And one of the big things for that, I think is pretty obvious to tell, what has happened in the last little bit with our jobs. So Avery's going to be looking at more along the lines of the audio and radio side because
that's where I work. That's what I do.
And I'm going to be taking care of a little bit more of the video editing, video stuff, because
it makes sense. You work at CTV and you work with cameras.
Exactly. Cameras are sometimes not the best, but not the best, but
technology can be a pain in the butt sometimes.
It's confusing sometimes, right? And
we were trying to set up microphones. That was fun.
Oh, God, yeah. This dummy microphone. You can't hear any of that except for a little bit coming from there. Like, it took us like 15 minutes to try and get 2 tracks rolling in our audio software, and it didn't work. So right now, this is basically it. This is how you're listening to me. But yeah, the season 4 of the Lang and LeBlanc podcast, it's going to be the best ever. We'll say that.
Yep.
We are looking to line up more and more guests. But of course, one thing that we have promised for the longest time is to do golf content.
Yes.
And we are going to get into golf content right around the corner. It's going to be fun. We have a lot of really good ideas, but we always want to hear from you guys. So if you'd like to reach out to the Lang and LeBlanc podcast, it should be around here on your thing. I'm thinking right now. This is our email address. It's langleblanclive@gmail.com, because we hope to be live, and we might be live.
We might
within season 4. So
live up to our first name.
Exactly. You guys will have to watch out for that. I always feel like, when you're on YouTube and you're watching, you guys are gonna have to watch out for that.
Yeah.
Click subscribe right here. Yeah, I always feel weird when I say that, but honestly, this time we are back and we are staying here. It is Lang and LeBlanc episode 62, ReLaunch. So thank you guys so much for coming back to the Lang and LeBlanc podcast. There are going to be some changes. We are still your Saskatchewan podcast, but like we said, changes are here. Changes.
What song is that? Is that an actual song, or is that Brady?
The song must be Changes. Like, it must be called Changes, but if I'm wrong, let us know. You probably haven't heard that song.
No, I don't think I ever have.
It's an oldie, but radio. You probably should know. But yeah, how is radio life, by the way?
It's going good. We are working double time just because it's summertime, right?
Well,
that's what comes with the warmer weather. A lot more stuff's going on, a lot more remotes. We're out in the community.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun. Like seeing people. Love talking to listeners. It's a lot of fun doing that too. And just seeing the crowds of people that we haven't seen in so long.
It's been a while.
That is just fantastic. We saw a little bit of it last summer and rolling into the fall. But after that, it kind of slowed down again. But now we're back in full force. And I think that we are in full steam ahead here at this point, right now.
Yeah. And kind of like Paul Blart, safety doesn't take a holiday, news doesn't either. So things have been, especially with events, because events are different, right? Because you're going to cover that. It's in a controlled setting, that sort of thing. So as of late, there's been a lot of running and going to places. Like, I even went to Estevan to the Centennial Cup.
Yeah, you drove a distance to get to that.
Yeah, a couple hours. But yeah, it's been great. And we're excited to bring you guys that sort of content.
Gotta clap.
Yeah, it's a little bit different when you're putting together stuff for TV than radio or audio, I guess, in podcast sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a while since we've been back. And even like the set, this is so special.
We're going to add a few things.
We are. And it would be great if we could find some small town things to put in here.
Yes,
and then maybe make the set bigger behind us as well.
Well, I've got a few mugs I got to get in here.
Yeah. We got a boot. We got a boot that I took. My parents had a garage sale, so it was basically like, "Hey guys, come get whatever you want."
Yeah,
and I'm like,
"Oh, great
first
take."
Yeah, you get first take of your own stuff. But yeah, we got the DOS boot. We got a curling broom back here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Because we interview curlers, and curlers are great people. And we have this, my midget hockey.
Look at that.
Jersey, yes. Probably one game, I think. I was assistant captain, and I will keep it forever.
Never let that jersey go.
Yeah, exactly. But, hit the mic that's not working.
Oh, boy.
But, yeah, in terms of our content, it might change a little bit, too, because obviously we're into rider season, and we're not into the depths of winter like we used to be.
Oh, boy, finding content in the winter is tough.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but we didn't want to keep pushing things. Honestly, we didn't want to keep pushing things and drive you guys away with. I don't want to say our content wasn't great, but we had gotten to the point that we were just tired.
Yeah,
we were run down. We had things going every single week prior. And then, everything changed with the move to Yorkton. I was going to start off this, and we may still have this in there. But when you think about it, from Humboldt to Yorkton, from Saskatoon to Yorkton, welcome to the Lang and LeBlanc podcast. That's better than going to all the small towns, I think. It was getting hard, and I know that we doubled up on a few.
Yeah, we did. We definitely doubled up.
Exactly. But
especially hometowns.
yeah, exactly. Balcarres and something with a B.
Battleford.
Waka and Wolseley again. But yeah, it's great to be back, and we are going to be looking a lot into the riders as well.
Yep.
The Rough Rider Corner is going to be back. Right now, though, we should switch it over to the Rough Rider Corner. I'm wearing a Rider jersey.
Yeah, I didn't know I was dressing for the occasion.
Well, you apparently did that free advertising for the homestead there.
Yes.
But yeah, it's Rider season. This is officially the start of the CFL season tonight. It's
being
Calgary,
Thursday night, by the
Calgary
way.
and Montreal. Yes,
Yeah.
Thursday. This is coming out Friday, so I'm sorry if something drastically changes overnight. It will not be current. But yeah, it at least we're not doing it 2-3 months in
Exactly.
prior. But yeah, are you excited for the CFL season?
I am. I'm excited to get to games. I went to one last year. I wish I would have gone to more. But I think this is the year where we're actually going to get to go to multiple at some point. Obviously, gas prices might not allow us to some weeks, but hey, we're going to make it work and make it happen. But yeah, I think that this season has a lot of questions, and I think every team's coming in with a little bit of juice, right? Mm-hmm. Like everyone's got a quarterback that they can rely on in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I think the West is more interesting than it's ever been because you see Edmonton, they had a complete teardown and rebuild, right? Their coaching staff's completely different. Mm-hmm. They've got a quarterback now, it looks like, in Arbuckle. I mean, we'll see what happens with him. But, I mean, I think every team's got strengths, weaknesses, and we're going to see who's going to come out on top. I don't know how the season's going to turn out. It could be another repeat again. It could be completely different rolling into the playoffs. We don't really know.
That would suck to watch the Bombers win their third straight.
It would drive me nuts.
In Saskatchewan. But, it's the Riders, by the way, play on Saturday against Hamilton. But it's going to be interesting. I think you're right. But I think by the looks of it, I think we're going to see a crap ton of offense.
Oh, yeah.
Those hash marks look weird.
They do.
They look very weird, but you can tell how they're going to open up the game.
Yeah.
And I think in the Riders' favor big time, especially right off the start.
Running game especially, I think.
Honestly, the defense. Because we have a very versatile defense now. We lost a lot of guys, but we brought a lot of guys in, and no one had injuries to their Achilles early on in the year.
Yeah, that was rough last year.
That's a plus. But legitimately, we'll have a full roster. It's going to be really exciting to see this new look defense. Like every year, we always kind of worry. We're like, oh, the Riders' defense is finally going to break. Mm-hmm. The Riders' defense has been good for years and years and years and years, and it's very much due to good coaching. And I think that's going to be a really big storyline. Not if they will be good, but how good they will be. And if the offense can keep up. Because we saw in past years the offense, that was the issue. That was the thing kind of holding the Riders back.
Yeah.
And it was weird because in a few years, the offense was the strong side. Like it was the strong point of the team. But all things considered, we all know that, I have said my things about Cody Fajardo as a starting quarterback in this league.
I have too.
But I really don't know what's going to happen. So it's going to be really interesting, and we're going to be following along for every single game leading up right into the Grey Cup here at home. And I think we should do vlogs at Rider games.
Yes,
One or two,
we will.
Just for fun.
We will record videos. We will do stand-ups and stuff and just say hello to the people from the game.
Hello to the people from the game.
Yes.
Hello, people.
Hello, people. How are you today? No, but yeah, I think that it'll be a great game, whatever game we go to. I should say games, actually.
Yeah, could be more.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But yeah, I think, last season was an outlier because we had a short season.
Exactly.
And also it was the season after the time that is no longer spoken of.
Kavide.
Yes, Kavide. That's the nickname for it now.
I guess.
But I think that this year is probably going to be a lot more offensive. It was funny because I checked the score before showing up here. I think it was just entering the second quarter. It was tied 7-7, so that's a good sign, right? You're looking at much higher scoring games.
That's a 28-28 tie.
Yeah, if you have a touchdown. Honestly, that's the perfect football game to me.
Yeah.
When you have a touchdown every quarter from each team.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Because then it's entertaining. You have consistent scoring. Also, defensive plays are being made.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, when you have a touchdown every quarter from each team, it's nice. And then also there's a chance that it goes into overtime if it's that close.
Exactly.
Right? So, yeah, I think that this season's going to be a lot better on the offensive side of the ball, like you said. But I think defense will have to adjust over the next few weeks rolling into the start of the season because of mosquito. That's what he was waving at.
That's actually a good question for you.
Yes.
Do bugs, like as a football player, because I played 1 week of football, never touched the field, and then I didn't play ever again. But do bugs ever make a difference in the game? That's a stupid question, but a good one, I think.
I can't say that they ever bugged me because we were on natural grass, right?
That's a pun.
So
put it in the jar.
Didn't even mean it. Wasn't intended. But yeah, it was. I don't ever recall a moment where the mosquitoes were so bad where it was like, oh, like this is absurd. Like we need bug spray out here. Like I've never had a moment like that.
Do you spray down before football?
No, never have.
Really?
Never have. I guess because football did start in. If you think about it. Football season for high schoolers started in September.
Yeah.
So it is a little cooler.
I guess, the bugs would be gone by then.
They're at least gone by
And you never
two.
played in the CFL.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So, phone call,
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, just being a local celebrity.
Well, yeah, what do you say the Riders are going to do for a record this year?
Where do I see them finishing? There's 18 games in the season. 16-2. No. I'd say 11-7, 12-6 ish. I'll go 12-6 just because those are both even numbers, and I guess those might be lucky.
Yeah,
for some people that think
I could see them. I could see them being either first in the West,
yeah,
or third, borderline making the playoffs.
It's every year.
Right. And I think that I think like you said, 11-7, 12-6, or you know what, going to gimme here. 13-5.
All right.
Why not?
Locked in.
Why not? 13-5. I could see that.
Either
happen.
one of us will win because if it's higher, you win.
Yep.
If it's lower, I win. So I have the better odds.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you got more of a gap there in terms of amount of games played.
Yes, exactly. Home field advantage, like this garage.
Yeah, it is a wonderful garage, by the way.
Thank you. I didn't build it. We should take a break though, because that camera is going to run out of space soon. So see you on the other side.
Oh, hey, look, we're in the backyard.
Oh.
You know why? Because we forgot to do a segment. And that's the Lang LeBlanc NHL Playoff Draft, presented by no one. Presented by Dollarama, where Marty bought his trophy from last year. But yeah, we just wanted to give you guys a little update as to where the Lang LeBlanc NHL Playoff Draft is. And in first, yet again, that trophy's never going to leave North Battleford. Nope. It is Marty Martinson in first. And you have an updated total because there's an NHL game on right now. But he has over 200, so I don't think anyone's going to catch him. Coming in second is me.
Brady is happy with that
yes,
after last season.
Yes, I have around 177 points. The updated total, of course, on the screen. Coming in third right now is Avery.
This guy.
Not bad, though. Not in last. You're not doing as bad as Matt. But Avery's sitting around the 140 mark. We'll say around there.
Yeah.
You might have a good night here or there. I don't think you have anyone for these teams, but
I have Nathan McKinnon still.
Yeah, but he's not playing right now.
No.
He's already onto the cup.
Yeah, so I gotta wait.
Touch the trophy and everything. I don't know about that. But yeah, and coming in last is Matt Barrett. Sorry, Matt, you didn't even hit 100. 98. He hit 100, and then God bless Mike Smith.
I shouldn't be laughing because I was surprised I'm not last.
Yeah, well, I was last year, so. You know, and also, just so everyone knows, Marty has already set the record for the most points. He can thank Connor McDavid for that. The only reason I'm where I am, thank you, Leon Draisaitl. But yeah, we'll get you back to the podcast right now.
Where did the time go? We're almost done this relaunch episode.
I mean, relaunch episodes don't take very long.
No, we don't have an interview for you guys tonight, but we do have interviews ready to go. But if you guys do have any suggestions for us, shoot us an email, shoot us a DM, send us a... Still not making any difference. Send us a message, any way, shape, or form. Carrier pigeon, anything. and let us know what you guys want to hear, because I think that's a really important aspect of this, is that we want to know what you guys want to hear, right? We have different, hobbies and interests. Some of my hobbies are not like Avery's. When they start talking really deep football and I go, okay,
Who's the fourth string quarterback again?
wish this was hockey. And then I go, Avery, who's Rocky Butler? And he goes, oh, I'm young. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And I think also, so we do know that we are both from Yorkton now. We both live in Yorkton. One big aspect is that we are going to be a local podcast to Yorkton, but we're also going to be a local podcast to Saskatchewan. We're still going to be talking about Saskatchewan's issues, Saskatchewan's kind of talking points, and we're both from here. Yorkton is also in Saskatchewan. So the Lang LeBlanc Podcast is back, and I think it's going to be interesting to see, I hope people start listening in Yorkton, because then we could bring on Mitch Hipsley. He's the mayor. Yeah, man with a plan. Anything, because Yorkton, I think, is a diamond in the rough. People don't give Yorkton the credit I think it deserves.
I agree with that.
After living here, this is my 5th or 6th month that I've been here. Mm-hmm. You've been here since August, so that's almost a full year.
Yeah, I'll be coming up a year in about 3 months from now. So.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed this community. Mm-hmm. And the nice part about this community is it's so interconnected with all the smaller towns too.
Yeah.
That was something that we wanted to get into in past seasons, is get out to those smaller communities and possibly do a live podcast. So if you are a small community that wants us in your presence, it would be great if you reached out to us.
Love to come to your event.
This is the section of the podcast where we just ask you for your ideas rather than us thinking and sitting there and thinking.
Do our job for us, please.
Yes. But ask Sask, what do you want?
What do you want to hear?
What
kind of questions?
Exactly. This is a new era of the LLP. People know what we look like now. Hope people know what I look like.
I mean, we've had photos of us on our social media.
Yeah, but this is totally different. It's you and I in the flesh. So we are very glad that everyone came out to this episode of the Lang LeBlanc Podcast, even though it was light on content and a nice, easy 30-minute one. It's a nice one to come back to, right? And if you guys are listening to the Lang LeBlanc Podcast for the first time, please tell your friends about it if you're enjoying this episode, or if you want to know what we really do, scroll back a year. It sounds weird, but we took quite the break.
We did.
But we have brought on bands like the Sheepdogs and the
There's
Hunter
a lot
Brothers.
to listen to.
Weapons. We have 61 episodes before this one. So fill your time with that and get acquainted to us, because like we said before, we ain't going nowhere, and we ended up coming back instead of going away. But yeah, feel like we're just talking about ourselves a lot this episode.
Well, I mean, the episode is about the podcast coming back
and
us coming back.
Relaunching.
Exactly.
That's the name of the podcast episode. So you guys probably knew what you were getting into, right? Unless you just maybe it just popped up on your YouTube after you fell asleep and now we're talking in your living room. Wouldn't that be funny?
It's 3 o'clock in the morning and you fell asleep at 8 in the evening.
That is the prime time to listen to the Lang LeBlanc Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
3 in the morning, baby. Let's go.
One thing we will also be bringing back on the show, or two things, are Marty and Matt. Hope they're watching. Hope they're listening. Hope they're doing well.
I'm sure they're enjoying their time off after quite a busy SJHL season. They haven't had a season like that in a long time.
No, a full one with champions and stuff. And it
Actual
wasn't the Battleford's North Stars. Congrats to Esteban, and congrats to the Flin Flon Bombers, and also congrats to the Brooks Bandits, who ended up winning the whole darn thing, which disappointed future friend of the podcast, Arnell Duff, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But his Dauphin Kings ended up, I think they lost in the semifinals, so you can kind of average it out. They're 3rd or 4th in the nation. So that's pretty good for our neighbors over in Dauphin. But yeah, long season, great season, fun season for everyone. I'm excited to have a full Terrier season under our belt, because I think you've got your first season under your belt technically, but
I'd like to go to more games though next season.
Yeah, exactly.
It was tough because I mean, morning show, you got to get up at least by 4:30, so it's tough to go to a game and going to bed at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know what? I'll hammer out an app for a few games maybe during the week, and we can both go. Or we can pick out our games during the weekend and go to those games as well, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, we're going to make it happen. We're going to do more coverage in the community.
Exactly.
Another thing, one thing that I think that we'll definitely make a point is that we're not just going to try and cover Yorkton and surrounding communities.
No, of course.
That is something that we want to emphasize. Like, it doesn't matter if you're not in the Yorkton area. We will cover whatever you can. I just snagged that mosquito in midair. I'm not sure
Curling
if you saw
is
that.
everywhere.
It is all over the place. So is football. So is hockey. Everything Saskatchewan. Fundraisers, community events, all that sort of stuff. We want you to tell us about that. And you know what? If we get an invite to a community event that's a distance away, we'll do our best to get there.
Yeah.
But if not, we can't make it, then we'll do our best to give a shout out as much as possible and give you the respect that you guys need to get that event off the ground.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And we're not scary people.
No.
You can reach out to us.
We will not we will not bite you through the computer in an email or anything like that.
Kind of part of our job.
Yeah, we have
talking to people. And also, if anyone is wondering, our chairs are very uneven, but yes, Avery is that much taller than me.
Is it the chair?
Well,
I think
you got the
six,
nice
though.
chair.
I do.
Look at where your butt is compared to mine. My butt is all the way down here, and you're up.
You have had possession of this chair ever since our last in-flesh video together.
Yes. Like, this would be us normal. Would it be? No, because you're taller than me.
Yeah.
Or maybe my torso's taller.
I'm not sure. I think we're the same height relatively, though. How tall are you?
5'11" and a half, I like to tell people.
I'm 5'10", 5'11", so somewhere in there. I've never actually measured.
You're
myself
taller
in
than
a
me,
long
though.
time.
I think so. And I slouch a lot, which is probably what everyone's already noticed.
That's something I gotta get better at, too, is standing up straight.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Some days
if anyone has any tips. All right, well, Avery, we're almost there. Would you like to wrap it up for the people?
Yeah, I haven't done this in a while, so I had to pull it up on my cell phone. So I feel a little embarrassed not being able to remember this. But if you want to find us on our social media, Facebook and LinkedIn, the Lang LeBlanc Podcast, Instagram at Lang LeBlanc Podcast, Twitter at Lang LeBlanc Pod, and TikTok at Lang LeBlanc Podcast. Do you see a mosquito on my face?
Nope, just being weird.
And if you want to listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, or wherever you get your podcasts, feel free to do so. Leave us a rating and subscribe if you can. Helps us a lot as we move down this long road of a podcast. How many years have we been? It's been over a year. We had the 1 year anniversary.
1.5 years, I believe.
Okay, so it's been... We're getting close to 2 years here. Yeah. It's gone by real fast. Mm-hmm. And also, if you want to get a hold of us, langleblanclive@gmail.com. Brady will put it up in the video at some point. So if you
will I?
Oh, maybe.
Will I ever?
You did call it out in front of the screen.
In front of the screen, right about here. Maybe right now. There could be graphics anywhere right now. Like, who knows how bored I get.
Just pop-up ads all over the place. Everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Block out everything that you're watching right now. And then all of a sudden, if you want to check out our website, feel free to do so there as well. langleblancpodcast.com. And if you want to follow Brady and I individually, my handle is Airwaves Aves. That is AIRWAVES AVEZ, and Brady's is Brady Lang CTV. BRADYLANG CTV. You pointing at it?
My weird thumb. Everyone knows about my weird thumb, I guess, now.
It's curved.
It's curved. It's just a little... We thought it was a putterish. But yes, thank you guys so much for listening to the Lang LeBlanc Podcast. You guys are all great. Hopefully you made it to this point in the podcast. If you did, give us a follow, because if you've made it to this point in the podcast, you obviously want to watch us more. So thank you, Avery, for coming. Thank you to the listener. Thank you to the legitimate listener and the viewer. Everything.
Yeah.
Great episode. Thank you, guys. And we will see you in 1 week next Friday. Bye-bye.
Farewell.